The Tarkans arrived on Earth with gleaming ships that defied gravity and weapons that harnessed the power of stars. They looked down at humanity with 4 eyes that glowed with contempt and superiority. Their ambassador, Loreth, stood before the United Nations and scoffed openly at the primitive devices humans called technology. "Your species has barely learned to crawl," Loreth announced through his translation device. His exoskeleton shimmered with iridescent patterns that indicated amusement. "We come offering guidance to uplift you from your technological infancy." The assembled human delegates shifted uncomfortably. Admiral James Wilson, representing Earth's combined military forces, clenched his jaw but remained silent. Professor Lily Ortiz, Earth's leading xenotechnologist, studied the aliens with sharp eyes that missed nothing. The partnership that followed was one-sided. The Tarkans established bases on every continent, bringing their advanced technology but sharing little of its inner workings. They treated humans like children, incapable of understanding the complexities of true science. "Your tools are crude approximations," Takral, the Tarkan chief engineer, told Professor Ortiz during a tour of their manufacturing facility. He gestured dismissively at her tablet. "You rely on silicon and electricity. How quaint. We mastered quantum entanglement communication centuries ago." Lily nodded politely, her tablet recording everything. Behind her pleasant smile, her mind raced with observations and calculations. 3 months into the Tarkan occupation, they called it a cultural exchange, the first incident occurred. The Tarkan base outside Phoenix went dark for 6 hours. When communications restored, the base commander dismissed questions. "A minor fluctuation in our primary systems," he explained. "Nothing your engineers would understand." Admiral Wilson received a classified report that night. A sandstorm had temporarily disabled the Tarkans' shield generators. Their advanced technology, it seemed, hadn't been designed to handle Earth's particular blend of silicon-based dust particles. More incidents followed. In Brazil, the humid rainforest climate caused unexpected corrosion in Tarkan communication arrays. In Russia, their heating systems failed during a cold snap, forcing them to request human heating equipment they had previously mocked as inefficient and archaic. Each time the Tarkans dismissed these failures as inconsequential anomalies. Each time human observers took careful notes. "They're not adapting," Professor Ortiz told Admiral Wilson during a secure meeting. "Their technology is impressive, but it's rigid. They've evolved in an environment very different from Earth, and they've designed their tools accordingly." "Can we use this?" Wilson asked. Lily smiled. "We already are." The Tarkan leadership remained oblivious to human ingenuity. When their food synthesizers began producing nutrients insufficient for their metabolism, they blamed Earth's inferior atmospheric composition. They didn't notice how human engineers had subtly modified the air filtration systems in their bases, introducing trace elements that threw off their calibrations. Loreth called for an assembly of human leaders 6 months into the occupation. His tone had changed from condescension to irritation. "Your planet presents unexpected challenges," he admitted grudgingly. "We require certain accommodations." "Of course," the UN Secretary General replied smoothly. "We're happy to assist with our humble technology." The following week, a mysterious virus infected the Tarkan central database. Their quantum encryption, impenetrable by their standards, had never been designed to counter simple human hacking techniques. "Impossible," Takral declared when human assistance was offered. "Your binary computing methods cannot interface with our systems." But they had. Professor Ortiz's team had developed a hybrid approach, part digital, part analog, that the Tarkans hadn't conceived of because it was, by their standards, too primitive to consider. The balance shifted gradually. Human assistance became increasingly necessary as Tarkan systems failed in new and creative ways. The aliens' frustration mounted as their technology, designed for the sterile environments of their homeworld in space, struggled with Earth's biological diversity and environmental unpredictability. 9 months after their arrival, the Tarkans requested an emergency conference. "This exchange has been educational," Loreth stated stiffly. His exoskeleton now displayed patterns indicating stress. "We will be departing your world earlier than planned." Admiral Wilson feigned disappointment. "So soon? We've learned so much from your advanced methods." What remained unspoken was what the Tarkans had learned, that technology designed for one environment could fail catastrophically in another. That primitive did not mean ineffective, that human tools developed over millennia of adapting to Earth's harsh and varied conditions possessed a resilience their advanced technology lacked. As the Tarkan ships prepared for departure, Professor Ortiz met with Tikral one final time. "Your species has potential," the Tarkan engineer admitted reluctantly. "Your tools are adaptable in ways ours are not." Lily handed him a simple Swiss Army knife as a parting gift. "Sometimes the most primitive tools are the most reliable." The Tarkan studied the multi-tool with new respect. Perhaps there is wisdom in this approach. Hours later, the alien ships rose into the atmosphere, their departure significantly less triumphant than their arrival. In the UN Situation Room, Admiral Wilson watched the monitors as the last ship disappeared from radar. "Do you think they understood what happened?" he asked Professor Ortiz. She shrugged. "They understood enough to leave. Their entire civilization is built on technological perfection. They've never needed to improvise, to make do with limited resources. Earth taught them something their advanced science never could. That sometimes a hammer is exactly the tool you need," Wilson said with a smile. "Exactly," Lily replied. "Humanity didn't survive and thrive because we had perfect tools. We survived because we could make imperfect tools work in impossible situations." As reports came in confirming the Tarkans' complete withdrawal from Earth, humanity celebrated not with advanced weaponry or technological marvels, but with the simple, primitive tools of their ancestors: fire, music, and community. Sometimes, the oldest solutions were still the best ones.